There is no reconciliation in the picture, you guys. Honestly, there's no reconciliation in the picture. And as much as we are as a people, we are hoping that, oh, something is going to happen, there's going to be some changes, or we're going to hear something. AY Macron is saying, if you talk about me reconciling with this woman anymore, we are going to have a problem, because I'm going to pick it up legally with you. So here we are, letting you know that AY Macron, the comedian, has said that himself and his estranged wife, his ex-wife, not estranged, because he said they are not even going to come back together. We don't know the divorce is final. We have no idea, but we know they are separated. So I'm going to just refer to her from here on as his ex-wife, please. He has said that there is no reconciliation between himself and Mabel Macron. They are not together. They've not been together since April of 2024, at least publicly. We don't know for how long they've been trying to patch it, because if you actually paid attention to the write-up AY did to announce the end of his marriage, he did say that, you know, he tried his best, because they were together for a total of 21 years, but they were married for about 16. I'm not sure if they've done their 16th anniversary before the marriage collapsed, or maybe they were still 15 going on 16, but you get the picture. They were friends for about 4 years, or they did it for 4 years before they got married in 2008. And they were together until 2024, so do the maths. Thank you. Now, when he was announcing the end of the marriage, he did say that he didn't imagine for the life of him, this was what was going to be his own story, right? Because he was 53 then. He didn't imagine that he was going to have to deal with the end of a marriage at that point in his life. But they had tried, but it just looked like nothing was going to happen. And we had a lot of speculations. People saying, oh, Mabel was the one who checked out first. Because if you recall that the year prior, their home, when they were still together, caught on fire while they were out of the country, right? Luckily for them, I mean, fortunately, no life was lost. Properties destroyed, yes, but no life was lost. And they said that then, all of these are allegations and hearsays, please understand that then Mabel refused to move into Yomi's house. I mean, or maybe like the makeshift home they got, that she didn't, that she decided to stay by herself. So since then, we've been hearing of, it looks like everything is not okay. People insinuated that, oh, it was AY that stepped out on the marriage. Others said, oh, it was Mabel that did it, and then AY had no choice, that she was the one because of some sort of friends that she was working with, and they influenced her, or she influenced them. They influenced each other and started, you know, going out with some high-ranking politicians. But that story actually to me seems somehow, because AY is a very well-to-do person in the industry. AY has connections and access to it, or if he does not have direct access, he has access to people who have access to people that matter in the country. So I don't think that there's something or a project that maybe, because of course she might does, you know, interior, she's an interior designer. I don't think that there's a contract or a project she would want to do that she will be chasing, and AY's influence cannot get it for her. I don't know. I doubt it, right? But they had that. So people are like, oh, it was Mabel that, you know, was not satisfied and looked out. Others said, oh, she had been coping with AY's ways right from when the marriage was even very young. You know, the early years of their marriage, she'd been coping. And when Big Brother Niger happened, we had Alex and some other persons whose name came up repeatedly, you know, linked with maybe. In fact, some people linked Worry Pikin, who is expecting her 4th child, by the way, with her lawfully married husband. Some people, when Worry Pikin's career started, a lot of persons, because of our closeness with, you know, AY, a lot of persons linked them together saying, oh, both having extramarital affairs and all of those things. And the couple, in fact, AY had to come out to debunk the ladies that were associated with him, or that people were trying to link together, had to come out to publicly debunk it, that did not happen. So when AY came to say that his marriage had ended, honestly, I didn't think, this is me talking personally, I didn't think that there was a chance for reconciliation, because you don't come out at 50 something to come and say I've left my wife, and then people will now come back a year later to say we've reconciled, especially since this issue and this news of the marriage ending did not start in 2023 or 2022, contrary to what you might believe. If you know what's up, you will know that as far back as 2015, there had been news that the marriage ended, that AY and Mabel left each other. In fact, there was a time that it seemed like Mabel left the house. Why is it that she's the one always leaving the house, Sha? But then it seemed like she left the house back in 2015. And then AY had to come out to debunk it, to say, you guys should leave my marriage alone. Why are you people insisting and eager to hear that myself and my wife have problems? Yes, marriages have issues. We are not without that. And that was when they still had, their Michelle, their teenage daughter. And that's another thing that surprised me about this whole marriage thingy with AY. Because they had Michelle, it was just Michelle for a long time. Up until Michelle was about 13 or so. It was just this young woman. And then they had Ayomide. And less than 3 years after welcoming a new baby, they left each other. Maybe, well, okay, let me not say it. Because I didn't say it, but I was going to say that maybe the baby was, how they used to do that. Maybe the baby comes in, you're going to have, maybe he was going to mend or patch some things. Because when AY did mention that they had welcomed the child, he talked about them having tried for years to have another child after welcoming Michelle, suggesting secondary infertility, or I don't know, whatever thing they went through as a family then, right? And then Ayomide happened. But the crack in the marriage could not be, put together by the arrival of their bundle of joy, which is similar to what happened with Bright Okpocha and his wife, Elsie. Because tell me why these people also welcomed the baby again, and baby to never reach 3. So then say, they do again. That's by the way. AY has said that there is no chance of reconciliation between himself, Mabel, between himself and Mabel, although we don't know if they are seeing anybody. Because also, I was saying that years before, we've noticed that something was wrong, and bloggers and internet had talked about it, but they are debunked. But in 2017, Mabel also came out to publicly say that she was cryptic about it, but suggested that a woman was seeing her husband, or her husband was seeing a woman, or her husband and a woman were seeing each other. I don't, whichever side of the story you want to hold on to, that she had come out to publicly say that certain woman should leave her husband alone. Right, suggesting that there was some sort of infidelity or yet now in the marriage on AY's part, because for her to come and say that this woman should leave her husband, maybe it was the woman that was forcing herself, or was the husband that was refusing to let the woman go. I don't know the story, please. I don't know. Thank you for understanding that part. I don't know the story. It's just what is on the internet. These are things that you can actually Google and then you will see on the internet. Thank you for understanding that part. Please, we are just giving you from sources we've sourced online. You can also do your own findings to be sure that you are consuming the right information. Thank you for understanding. Anyways, that had happened prior. So when the whole unfortunate fire incident happened, and they said, oh, Mabel did not come into the house, this one, that one had happened. And then people were speculating then. 2024, they now brought it out, April to be precise, in 2024, they now came out publicly to say, oh, our marriage had ended. Mabel didn't see anything, actually. It was AY that said. And honestly, I feel like all through the whole situation of the marriage, it's been AY that has been addressing the public. Because when AY's sister got married and Mabel was, of course, noticeably absent, it happened just months after they announced their separation. And then Michelle was there. And Michelle and AY were being very, cozy. People had questions. It was AY that came to address it at that time also. This reconciliation news that was online, it is still AY that came out to address it, to say nothing has happened. And I feel like why he came out to address it, because people were beginning to compare him to Jules Edochie, saying, oh, it is after you've lost a good woman. That is when you will understand. And that's where because Yul had pulled something recently where it came out publicly I don't know if it's a fabrication or maybe it really did happen, but I saw the post where it was said that Yul allegedly apologized to May publicly to say he wants them to come back together. This is despite everything that had happened between them, the whole family issue, I feel like the Edochie family is sort of divided. Some people are with Yul, some people are solidly behind May, and they're publicly behind May, right? And him coming out to publicly say, oh, he wants reconciliation, and people saying May should just retain her queen status and not go back to that man. She's made a life for herself outside of Yul, and we are happy for her, and people are now saying that, oh, so Mabel should better do the same thing, although she's also had a life. This is a Delta babe, she's 40, she's 39 actually, she's 39, and AY is 54, so there's like an age gap between them. a reasonable one, and an understandable one even. So they are saying that at life she still has, you know, she can still make something bigger, better, more beautiful as a single, you know, woman. And I feel like they're sort of putting them into some sort of box. You know, we have the newly single women who men have treated badly. You know, it's a different thing when you're single because you are the one, as the woman, maybe it was the woman that did wrong. But they're sort of putting a picture or a story of the men having wronged these women. You know, them Annie, May, they've put Mabel into the group now, you know, some, you know, that kind of box, putting them there. And I feel like that's why LC them, because people are also saying, why is Basket Mouth now publicly celebrating his teenage daughter from a previous relationship, not a child he shares with, you know, LC, while LC has also been posting her own children, right? So they are sort of putting them in a box that, oh, these men were terrible people, and he has come to say, remove me from that place. I am not begging this woman. There is no sort of reconciliation happening between us. We are separated, and if you talk about this thing again, you are going to have me to contend with. So if you don't want to contend with AY, you know he has the resources, please understand this, Danny has said it, and respect this family at this, or this is, I don't know, they are still a family now, right? In the comment section, I don't know, what do you think? I just feel like, they're not like a family unit, but they are still family, because they have, you know, ties with them, they have children together and all of those things. But I'd like to hear your opinion in the comment section. And honestly, what is your take concerning what I just mentioned, this sort of trend of, I don't know if I say it's a trend, or this sort of thing that is happening online, this unification online of vindicating some set of women recently, right? And then villainizing the men. Because for case instance, Mabel and AY, it seems like the blame can be shared equally. People have said it's the woman that wronged the man. Others have said it's the man that wronged the woman. We don't know which one is which. I'd like to hear you, because they even said that Mabel has stopped AY from seeing Ayomide, their child. That even when the nanny tried to speak with, AY tried to speak with the child via the nanny, Mabel was angry and then destroyed the nanny's phone. That one also came online. AY addressed it online. Well, anyhow, we wish them the best. Subscribe to this channel. You know that we're going to let you know as it happens, as it odds. You are not going to miss anything happening on the internet if you are subscribed here, and if you turn on the bell notification so that you will hear all of the information as it odds. So do that already, right? And I'll let you know all of the gist as it happens. Thank you for watching this one. Subscribe to this channel, and bye. Like it too. Bye bye.